world has changed. America has changed. If something were to happen tomorrow, how self-sufficient would you be? Could you grow your own food? Could you sustain your own livestock? Could you survive? This is the We Grow Our Show with Nick and Don. Nick and Don talk about everything from politics to planting. They cover techniques, methods, and tips on how to not only survive, but thrive. Visit the website at WeGrowOurs.com. Lock and load. This is the We Grow Our Show. Get your grow on.
What will you do when your stored supplies run out? Are you prepared? Hostile Hair provides equipment and education you need to control your own infinite food supply. We have live food storage systems, rabbits, quail, and other urban livestock for any situation and strategy. Don't be limited by what's on the shelves. Get started with an infinite food source today. Get prepped, stay fed with Hostile Hair. Call 480-331-3761 or visit hostlehair.com.
Welcome back to the We Grow Our Show. Got a great show this week. I'm excited. Are you excited, Don?
I'm excited, Nick.
All right.
We're going to learn stuff about stuff?
Yeah, we're going to learn some stuff about stuff. Oh, gosh. It's funny when I called up our guest this morning, we spent about half an hour talking about our different political views and prepping and things of that sort. And I was like, man, I wish that we would have recorded all that. So I plan on revisiting a lot of those same topics tonight because it was so good the first time. It's time for round two.
Sounds good. Let's do it. So before we get to our special guests today, we have a few announcements that I want to make. So am I allowed to talk about the other thing in the date? I mean, I posted on Facebook. So
what other thing in the date?
The July 31st.
Yeah.
Nick. Finally, we get to say the Doomsday Prepper episodes airs on July 31st, so Nick is going to be famous.
I'm going to be famous.
Yes. So Discovery Channel? National Geographic Channel, sorry. National Geographic Channel, July 31st.
Discovery Channel is going to be running Honey Boo Boo, and they're going to be looking for me.
I can see the resemblance.
Shut your mouth. Just because the mom on there has as much facial hair as me.
No, I'm really excited about the show coming out and getting to see you and see what they've done with the hop system. And I'm curious how they cut this thing.
Dude, I'm going to put down a forecast of me looking like a retard.
Because this is, what, a 15-20 minute segment, right?
Yeah.
And I know you filmed part of it at my house.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 12 hours of filming probably
easily
at my house. And that was only half. If that?
Yeah, that was 1 day out of 3 that we filmed.
2 days.
Well, I'm saying, okay, yeah. Because we were there 2 days, that's right.
But but you filmed a lot more than that.
Oh yeah, we filmed, because it was like 6 hours at your house and then 6 hours elsewhere.
Yeah.
And actually we were doing probably 15-hour days because it was retarded. We'd start at 9.
For 20 minutes.
I know, right?
So they're going to cut this. I'm just curious how they're going to cut it.
Hopefully they make me look like a flippin' rock star.
I'm hoping they just cut me out of it, frankly.
I don't know. You looked pretty cool with your shirt that said, let me just drop everything and do.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me wear it. I had to go in and change.
Oh.
I had to wear a blank red shirt.
Oh, that's right.
And I gave a little speech about zombies. So if they use me, that's probably what it'll be.
Oh, you're going to look like a
speech. Or me saying that I was surfing the internet on rabbit poop power.
Oh my gosh.
I know. So, yeah, at least you've got a few minutes there. I've probably got a line that I'm going to look like a real idiot because nobody's going to have a clue that I'm, actually somewhat sane.
I don't know, man. Well, okay, so the vetting process on this, we get a call and it was...
We should talk about that after the show. Let's see the show.
Okay.
And then we should definitely do an episode, a whole episode on the show and the filming and the vetting and the whole 9 yards. I think we should do a whole show on it.
All right. Well, let me just say this. The only reason I agreed to it was it was supposed to have gone educational.
That's right.
But somehow that translated into weaponizing my biofuels. So that'll be a nice teaser for probably the first week of August. So we're
I
about a
haven't
month
seen
away.
a commercial yet for it.
No.
So I'm like, I'm watching that channel all the time now. I'm like, if there's a commercial and you hit record, I'm telling the kids, I want to see, because I know the commercial is going to be you with your weaponized rabbit poop.
Oh my
You know,
gosh.
I know that's got to be it. And the hero shot was just awesome.
It was
So we got to do a whole show on it. I'm telling you.
They made me carry 2 automatic weapons. Well, semi-automatic, but it's
Your arms are like ready to fall off by the end of that scene.
Freaking an AK-74 weighs like what, 11 pounds?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And I had it fully extended away from my body, and I'm not exactly the strongest man around there. I'll admit that, but
anybody would be tired
hurting.
holding that thing up for an hour.
We were up there for a long time.
Yeah, in
it
the
was at
blazing
least
sun.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
At least.
With a bunch of rabbits behind you. It was pretty awesome.
Now my AR, on the other hand, was freaking light as a feather, and I really liked that weapon.
That was funny.
Anyway, without further ado,
so July 31st.
July 31st.
We have more further ado.
Son of a...
Sorry, but we have on August 23rd.
Oh, you've got more ado.
Yeah, we do.
You're a dork.
I know. I didn't mean to do that. I'm a poet and I didn't even know it.
Because your feet are long, fellers.
No, August 23rd. 3 p.m. That's a Saturday at 3 p.m. Everybody that's listening that's in the Phoenix metro area, we need you guys to come down and watch the Food Patriots screening at Gomper Center. It's free. Go on to the webpage, wegrowers.com/foodpatriots, or just wegrowers.com, or our Facebook page. Register for the event. Get your tickets free. Come down, watch the movie, donate whatever you can donate to the garden program down at Gompers. These guys do some amazing things for people, and we want everybody to come down to get the word out, to share this thing, to help us support, to raise some funds so a good nonprofit organization can help teach people how to grow food. This is what we do. This is what our community is about. We really hope you guys can make it down. We need to raise some funds for these guys. They do such good work. I'm in awe every time I'm in that building, and I do a lot of IT work over there. And just really proud to be affiliated with this company. So,
okay, without further ado, we're going to have our guests on. That's Dory and Tiffany with Mombies. All right, this week on the We Grow Our show, we've got very special guests here in the Situation Room. We're sitting here with Dory and Tiffany of Mombies. How are you guys doing today?
Very good.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. So thanks for making the long trip from the east side into North Scottsdale. It's a ravenous jungle here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's GPS doesn't like this area very
Not at
much,
all.
but we made it.
we're on the runway of Scottsdale Airport, basically.
pretty
So
much.
that's where the GPS takes you. And, security around here just doesn't like it when people go driving on the runway. I don't get it.
About the 4th lap, the cops get involved. So, yeah, you got to be careful with that.
Yeah, I was about on my 3rd lap, so it's a good thing.
It's kind of funny how we're so dependent on technology. I don't remember a time when I would drive somewhere without pulling up Google Maps or MapQuest or something on my phone. It's there.
He's young.
I was just about to say
Yeah.
that.
Rand McNally.
Exactly.
Rand McNally.
Yeah, it's that big
The
book
book?
you kept in your car. The
Kept it in
spiral
your
bound.
car.
You know what? My first boss, when I started repairing copiers, he gave me one of those books.
Yeah.
And
You didn't know what to do with it.
no, I'm like, this is great. I've got this phone that does all of this, and I don't have to look like
Part of prepping is like learning to read maps and Dead Reckoning and all this.
which is funny because I did all that stuff in Scouts, but anyway,
Pick on Nick Day.
it is Pick on Nick Day. I feel very cornered
So-
over here. So
yes.
speaking of maps and Dead Reckoning and compasses and things of the sort,
Like prepping.
like prepping,
We've got the experts in the house.
that's right. We've got, like I said, very special guests. We've got Mombies here. What do you guys do at Mombies?
Well, we make evacuation bags. They're more for women because, unfortunately, a lot of women aren't thinking about it. And you get online and you start searching these products and you start searching for bags and it's very overwhelming. So I wanted to really make it where it's easier. It's easier for a woman to say, hey, you know what, here's this person who made this product and she's already done all the thought process on it. And now we can just purchase that and I don't have to worry about it. However, with that, there's a lot of education that goes along with it because, again, unfortunately, there's just so many women that aren't thinking. They think that someone's going to be there to help them. And I'm really trying to show that I was that person 3 years ago. And I've come a long way in 3 years in recognizing that maybe someone will be there, but I don't want to have to wait and find out.
Yeah, it's good to, it's one thing to hope that you can be helped by somebody, but then if you can be the one helping somebody else, it's much more enjoyable, I think.
Right. Absolutely. I love doing shows and having women come up and, they're being drug along by their husband. And they come to our booth and we're a lot of fun and we kind of just show a different side of it. We're kind of making it kind of a cool thing. Prepping can be cool. It doesn't have to be this bright red emergency looking bag that's just like, I don't want to have that. That scares me.
Or everything camoed out, looking real dreary and miserable.
Right.
Well, you guys have some really cool bags.
We think so.
Yeah. And they're full of really cool stuff.
Yes.
So, and it's not just stuff you'd find in a CPR kit or something like that. What is the difference between your bags and the other bags out there on the market that are not Mombie bags?
Well, from my research, most of the bags that you find, like the American Red Cross bags, the Guardian bags, first off, they're bright red. To me, that
means steal me.
Steal me, yes. Yeah. They're very, I don't want to say they're really generic because they have decent products in them, but they're not thought out. They're very much thought out as the plan is you have your food, your water, you have a blanket, you have a Band-Aid or two, you have a face mask. I think some of them have a very large flashlight that takes double D batteries, things like that, where our bag is more thought out. I visualize the different scenarios that I could be in here in Arizona in the desert, and then I took it to every state that I've been to, and I've been to a lot of states, so just kind of the environment that you would find yourself in, and try to make a bag that can work universally. So there's nothing in there that's just for the desert. There's nothing in there that's just for if you found yourself in a snow situation. It can be used for either.
And even though it's geared towards women, there's nothing in there that a guy couldn't find a use for either.
Yeah, feminine pads.
Everything.
Those are actually, should be in every first aid kit.
Yes.
I'm looking at your website.
We've had guys
The only thing I
challenge
can't
us.
figure out a use for is the Mombies Go Girl.
I can. Now,
Yes.
you have a water container,
Uh-huh.
and you're able to get to a water source. Now,
How do you fill the container?
how do you fill it up?
Ah,
What if you're at a bad
with a
angle?
Go Girl. I love
You
it.
can't cut yours off and do it.
Well,
I just clenched up there a little bit.
Yeah. It took me a second, then it hit. Yeah.
Don, I've never seen you that red. So
these are cool.
I wasn't, I didn't know what a Go Girl was, but I'm assuming that's similar to like a Shiwi?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. That's
Very similar. It's washable and reusable. And the reason that was important for me to have in the bag is because I have a 16-year-old daughter. And I thought about, even if we ended up in a camp of some sort, I wouldn't want her to have to expose herself. So it was more for her than a convenience thing. It was more of a safety thing.
That's right. And if you're in a situation where you got to dress her up, make her look like a guy. I know that's
Wow.
I didn't think of that, but that's fantastic.
Swiss Family Robinson. You know,
Right.
when they find the cabin boy, they had no idea they're walking with a girl for like half the movie.
Right.
Anyway, that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
During Katrina, when they're in the what do you call
In
it?
the dome.
The
in the dome. People
It was
were
horrible.
they'd have to use the bathroom right there in their group. They
Right.
were afraid to go away because it was awful. So, yeah, now I want to go buy one.
Well, I use Katrina a lot when I'm talking to women because that is what changed my perspective on things.
Right.
That was horrifying. And horrifying not in just the sense of people on the roofs that didn't evacuate and didn't heed warning, but the unpreparedness as individuals that we are. And I use that a lot in saying everyone knows those pictures of the dome. Everyone has seen it. They've heard of it. And I say, do you want to be that person walking into that dome, or do you want to be that person with your Mombies bag going, hell no, I'm going out and I'm finding a place to camp by myself or with my family or with a group of people. Because
I love it.
none of us want to go in that dome.
Yeah.
No,
I don't want to go.
that's
Not a
submission.
chance.
That's, you have completely submitted and forfeited
Right.
all of your rights, and your
Right.
well-being is now decided by somebody that's not you.
Right. And then just the general conditions of the place. You know, you're opening yourself up to illnesses and
Oh gosh.
diseases, and you don't know who's there. You don't know these people. No thanks.
Yeah, there's been some strategic placements of FEMA camps around the United States,
Mhm.
and you'll never. I mean, it sounds counterintuitive to say I will die before I go into one, but the reality is I will prep before I go.
Right.
Dying shouldn't be an option; it should be an outcome of something stupid. But,
Right.
So, be the one with the bag.
Be the one with the bag. And it doesn't, you know, a lot of people say, gosh, you know, $300-400 for that bag. And, that is an education process. Okay. Spend the time researching products. You will spend way more time and money than just purchasing one that we've thought out.
Yeah.
And, I really try to drive that home because I spent a year and a half researching products, ordering products, trying products. It had to pass a lot of tests. It had to be lightweight, functional, had to have a purpose. I didn't want a bunch of stuff in there. You know, we could go crazy with gadgets. There's all kinds of cool gadgets out there.
Oh yeah.
But I wanted any woman to be able to pick up this bag and figure out how to use everything in it and figure out what the purpose was pretty quickly, rather than having a bag of a bunch of gadgets that I don't know how to use this. So I tried to make it simplified.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the list of stuff in some of these kits, and for the price, I mean, this is awesome.
We tell everybody to go out there, look at the list online, and we challenge you to find all those products, if you can find them, by that brand name and everything else or better, for that price. You can't do it.
Yeah, you've got everything in here, and water, too.
Yeah.
So my wife has a request, by the way.
All right.
She's gluten-free,
Yes.
and your meal kits are not.
Right.
You need to come out with a gluten-free option.
I've heard that. I've
Probably
heard that
from her at
several
every
times.
show when she stops by your booth.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's
guys,
a tough
remember me?
one.
Remember me?
We're working towards it.
But even with the meal bars that are in there, even if you had gluten-free, a person was gluten-free, and they chose to put their own in there
Yeah.
for that reason, if you keep the meal bars in as is, then you've got a product for trade.
Oh, good point.
Always, anything in the bag can be used for barter.
Well,
whether
and
you
I
can
guess
use it or not.
if you're at the point that you need to use what's in the kit, gluten-free probably isn't on the top of your list at that point.
Mhm.
Right.
But if
My wife
somebody's
would
hungry,
disagree.
trade it
She'll
off.
eat it anyway.
I saw her eat a piece of pizza.
Gluten-free.
So what you're saying though, I really, that's something that I've stressed to people. A lot of my clientele are the do-it-yourselfers.
Mhm.
A lot of people that I deal with, and they're like, "Oh, I could build that." Yeah, I know you can.
Right.
You know, I can. You know what else I can do? I can sheetrock a house. I can roof a house. I can do all of
That's
these things. But you know how I don't have the experience to do that efficiently for the amount of time and
Mhm.
money that
Right.
the time. And so
Right.
if you've got a lot more time than you've got money, then yeah, go ahead and try and build it yourself. But with you guys, you've already condensed everything. You say, all right, you're set. You're ready to go. Now, do you offer like any sort of training along with your how to use the bag?
I send out in an email a description of everything in the bag and the purpose of it. At shows, we go over everything pretty much before someone buys a bag. They pretty much have a good concept of it. But again, everything in the bag is so easy to figure out how to use it that there's not a lot of instruction involved. One thing
You've got some
that
videos on your site too.
yeah, we have some videos on our site of some, like the fire knife. We have a Swedish fire knife, and we have a video on how to do that. But we play with that at the shows, so people get a feel of it before we teach kids how to make fire.
That's a great thing to teach children.
It
It's,
is.
You know, here, take this home. Show your mom some cartoons.
With dryer lint, which comes in every home for free.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here, have a knife, kid. It starts a fire. All you need is dryer lint.
You know, Nick,
That's horrible.
you mentioned though, if you have more time than you have money, then yes, go ahead and do it. And so you do have the time. What if it happens tomorrow?
Yeah,
Do you have the time?
not anymore.
That's the thing. Whenever you might have more time than money, but you never know when something will happen.
And the other thing is, will you do
Will
it?
you do it?
Will you
I
complete
think
it?
that's a big one. A lot of people, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. You go on Mombies.com, hit the button, and you've done it.
And you
Right.
can always go from there and add to it, change it, do what you want, but you've got your core. You've got your core that if it happened, you're okay right then and there.
So how did you guys get started in this? What brought you to Mombies, and how did it, there's got to be a good story here. I can
You
see
know
it.
what? It's not the greatest story ever, but I turned 40 and my brother was in town, and he's a big prepper, and he's kind of got me on the path of it. You know, I saw what was going on in our world. I mean, it's falling apart piece by piece, and just the realization, you know, the whole thing with Katrina and everything that's happened since then, I just realized I don't want to be that person with my kids. So I got online and I started researching bags and realized that nobody made a bag for moms. No one made a bag that was geared towards women. So I was like, okay, well, I'll start making my own. And then when I started making my own, I said, I'm going to make a bunch. Why not? Because I started talking to my friends and my family and my community. I live in Gilbert. There's a lot of women, and none of them even know, they didn't know where to start. So I started making it, and it took me a while. It was a lot of research, a lot of late nights. I would come home from work, I'd cook dinner, get the kids to bed, and I would be on my computer till 2, 3 in the morning, researching products. I agonized for months over certain products. There's a few products that, we're talking like 6 months agonizing over a rain poncho.
Really?
Because it was important to me. I didn't want something that was going to fall apart instantly, that was going to be too heavy. That was the biggest thing, is making sure I found products that weren't heavy. Our bag weighs 18 pounds, completely
That's not
full.
bad.
So most women can carry that. 18 pounds, most of our kids weigh more than that. So
Right.
18 pounds, I can carry it. I can still carry my kid. But back to what led me, you know, it was just more of a realization that things could happen. And then as my journey continued, I started looking locally at Gilbert. I went through CERT training with Gilbert Fire. So I wanted to educate myself and my community. What kind of threats do we have? And our biggest threat is the railroad track. Before I did CERT, I would have never even thought about it. Like most people wouldn't. But we have hazardous materials all day long going right through our little town. Not a little town, but it's a town. Wow. And
Yeah,
you take one train derailment, you see it happen all the time. North Dakota had one not too long ago, evacuated a whole town. So it could happen here. And Gilbert Fire was training for it. They were training on all of their crews on how to deal with that disaster, which worries me.
Yeah.
Because I always think if they're training for it, then it's a real threat, right? So,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And those guys, they use some pretty scary language, because they don't say, in case of an emergency. They say, when this happens, you do this.
Right.
What do you mean when this happens? Are you really planning on this? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This is imminent. You have a failure rating. That means that it will happen eventually.
It will happen eventually. And I remember when I got my volunteer packet in the mail from Gilbert Fire, I was actually training to be a car seat technician, is what I originally was going to get trained in. And it was because I was in a bad car accident, and the way I had placed the car seat correctly saved my daughter's life.
Oh, wow.
So it's been something that's been very dear to me. So I thought, if I could volunteer and spend my time helping other moms, making sure that they have that installed properly, then that's what I'll do. But when I got my packet, there was a little card inside of it, and it said, everyone should have a 72-hour bag. And I was like, really? Gilbert's telling me to do this? So that was part of the journey too, is, that's interesting.
Love it. That's funny, because I'm LDS, and in the church, that's one of the, it used to be have a year's supply of food, have a year's supply of food. They've since brought it down to 3 months supply, because there's actually a federal law. You're not supposed to have 3 months
really?
I know it's not enforced, but it's on the books. So you could always get in trouble there. Anyway.
There's one freedom out the door, right?
Oh my
Freedom
gosh.
Fest.
Okay. Yeah. So, you know, they teach us that, but one of those is 72-hour kits. And my mom, I remember there was all this stuff in these kits in the pantry, and I'm like, I see Jolly Ranchers in there. Come on in there. But that was something growing up. But, it was just kind of cool that the government is also,
Yeah.
you know, the fire
Well, I
department
mean,
is doing that.
You look at FEMA, they have their ready.gov website.
It's not bad.
It's not bad, but
Mhm.
this is how I look at it from just a normal mom perspective. FEMA is telling me they are making commercials saying, be prepared.
Have a bag.
They are telling us they can't handle it. They're vocally saying, we can't handle it. You need to take that responsibility upon yourself to have a 72-hour bag and a supply of 30 days food and water at your house. Because they know they can't be there.
Right.
Red Cross, same thing. Some of the FEMA commercials are great though. They show families that are they sit down at the table and they're talking about, we're going to talk about our family evacuation plan. And the little boy's like, okay, I'm going to grab the flashlight that doesn't have any batteries in it. And it's kind of a spoof because that's most Americans. Most Americans think, hey, someone will be there to help me.
Well, yeah, that's why we have government.
Right?
I just want them to stay away from me.
Yeah.
Just stay over
That's
there and let
me.
me do my thing.
I said, even if I ended up in some sort of, church camp or a school, something shelter, which I hope to never have to end up there, but if it happens, I don't want to be that mom in line for an hour trying to get a water bottle for their kid. I want to be that one that has her little camp down the street.
Mm-hmm.
I'll set up our little tent,
Yeah,
cooking our food right there. I don't want to be that person in that camp.
I love it. Well, and that's what we do. I mean, empowering your independence is our tagline,
Yeah.
and that's exactly what you guys are doing. That's why we wanted to have you down here and
Thank you.
share the product with us. So, radio nod.
Yes, nodding at Dawn.
A radio now.
So you got into it, and then you brought your friend along?
I did. She
Did
worked
you-
with
She
me.
kind of got stuck with me. She wanted to tell somebody about what she was doing.
I did.
And she didn't trust anybody,
I didn't trust
And
anybody.
I kept just
Horrible.
picking at her and picking at her and picking at her. And finally, she kind of whispered the secret to me. And I was all for it because I've lived in the snow. I've lived in the earthquakes. I've lived in the tornadoes. I've lived in the floods. I've lived in all the places.
Now you
And
live in
been
an
through-
oven.
And now I live in an oven.
Yeah.
Yes. And so having been in all the situations, no electricity because of, I've been snowed in, I've been earthquaked in, I've been stuck on the side of the road overnight with nothing. Well, I had stuff, but nothing on the road.
Right.
No cell phone service because of where I was. I mean, so I've been through all of the situations and everyone always said, just go to Tip. Tip has everything plus the kitchen sink. That's what I've always been known as. And so when I saw a small modified version of what I always kept with me, I'm like, yes, this is exactly it.
Very cool.
So I
And then
couldn't-
she wouldn't leave me alone.
yeah, she had to, had
But
to
she
push
kind of
her.
grew on me. I like her.
Yeah, we kind of got.
She
stuck
brings
with
a
each
different
other.
element to it. We work well together. It's been a fun time.
I'm the rebellious one. She's the nice one.
That's good. We've got good and evil. Is that?
Mhm.
Hell.
Queen
no.
Mombi, Mombi.
Wow.
Right.
I love it. I love it.
Wow. I'm a little scared and excited.
I mean, you heard my comment about the Go Girl.
Oh man, one thing's for sure, when we go to the survivalist shows, it's always good seeing you guys, and I love having the help. Your boys come over and
Yeah.
and feed my bunnies and threaten to eat them.
Mhm.
So one of these times we'll have to do some rabbit barbecue or something.
Oh yeah.
Yes, they would love that.
Renton and David actually got into it at the last show because Renton was talking about how cute they were, and he was just going on and on and on about how cute this, that, and the other, and Dave was like, they're cute, and I would eat one. And Renton says, no, we're not going to eat the
Yeah.
bunnies, no. Dave's like, because then David realized he was egging him on.
Right.
And he's
Right.
like, we're going to eat one.
Where'd he get that from?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be able to tell Renton he's eating the rabbit when we have our barbecue.
Oh,
Tell him
man.
after.
Afterwards, yeah, you remember Thumper? No.
You know, I've got this really good curry sauce that I make. It would go really good with rabbit.
All right. Do you have a Mombies bag that has like seasonings and stuff for that's one idea that I want a bug out bag, but I want to have like the
He wants-
grill
he's
the
food
grill
right.
mat. Oh yeah, I'm
See,
a fat
that's
guy,
me.
so I'm
Right.
like I need to eat. So
Yes.
Well,
some
the-
Montreal, some curry,
Right.
some, you know.
well, the one thing with the mommy's bag is that I did the Molly system on it, the military system, so you can attach other bags to it. That's why it's in a
Oh.
military style bag. Because thinking of that, you have infants that can't carry their own stuff. So you can attach it to the Mombies bag. So your Mombies bag is your main bag. You can attach other bags to it for things like spices, seasonings,
My grill.
grill.
I actually have a little grill that I've
Aw.
hung on the back of my bag. And I've taken it hiking with me.
Because
Yeah.
it's only 18 pounds starting out, so you
Right.
can add,
Up to a
most
third
people
of your
could
body
probably
weight.
add an extra 5 pounds, no problem. Also seniors, so many of us are taking care of our moms and dads that are aging, and, this economy that we live in, most people are having to live together.
Mhm.
So that's another thing. You can, have your parents' bag attached to your bag if they couldn't carry theirs.
That's awesome. It's a really great product. I've got to get one. I got to get my wife one.
You do. Absolutely.
Because if you're not there to help her, she should be prepared on her own.
There you go.
That's really what it comes down to, though, because when women are married, we tend to look at our spouses to come help us.
Mhm.
And like in Dory's case, with her husband being gone all day into the night at work.
He works in air conditioning
Yeah.
here in
Oh.
Arizona.
Man in
Right.
demand.
So if
I don't
anything-
see him much.
Yeah, if anything happens,
And I don't know
Dory
where
need
he's
to be
at.
able to go.
He won't let me put GPS on him yet. I'm still working on
Yeah.
it.
Love it.
I
Oh
want
my
to know where
gosh.
you are.
And I'm a single mom, so who am I going to call?
Right.
My kids are going to call me. They all come to me for everything because I'm the only one. So we both have the situations where we don't want to have to depend on. Even if you could, what if you're not
Mhm.
there?
Well, and a lot of people, they think, oh, it's a mom's bag because of the name, Mombies. And Mombies was just, a quirky little name because I needed something to
Mhm.
catch people's attention.
Oh,
But
it
it's
worked.
really kind of like having your mom with you. So that's how I really like to approach it. It's like having your mom with you. Like Tiffany, she has everything in her purse. Everybody knows they can come to her and she has it. Same thing with the Mombies bag.
Yeah, the college students, you send your child off to college and you want to make sure that they just have a little bit more. When they have that with them, that's their mom there. That little
Right.
extra stuff that you would call mom up to take care of, you have right there in your bag.
That's phenomenal.
Well, guys, thank you so much for coming down. This
Thank
has been an awesome interview. And I look forward to seeing you guys at the up-and-coming shows.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
I'm
Thank
looking
you.
forward to the rabbit roast.
Yeah.
What a great group of gals. I like them. It's funny because we say a lot more off the air. Don and I don't really want to get political on the show because our point here is to bring a community together and really support independence.
That's right.
That's the whole deal here, empowering independence. And these guys have a great product that will help you, give you peace of mind. You got a Mombies bag behind the seat of your truck, in your car, and you get stranded somewhere, you're good to go.
I mean, these things are price-wise really good too. I'm really impressed by the product.
Mm-hmm.
So their website is mombiesbags.com. MOMBIES bags.com. Just search Mombies, you'll find them.
Yeah.
So
Awesome girls. A lot of fun. Oh my gosh.
yeah, we had a good conversation off the podcast as well, where I was able to get a little political and enjoy some conversation. So
Yeah,
It was a
without me
blast.
strapping your wrist with the ruler.
yeah, we don't want to do that on the show. We don't want to. I do like to talk politics.
Mhm.
And I think that there's some politics we can all agree on, like getting GMOs out of our food and that kind of thing. So that's what we try to talk about as best we can. But sometimes I slip.
Well, my point is, there's a whole lot of people out there complaining.
Yeah.
I'm going to quietly grow my own food.
You
Well,
rebel.
Yeah, I know, right? Just put the fist in the air
That's right.
while you're growing your hair. Can we cut that out, please?
I might be able to. I might not. I also need to, we've actually got paying sponsors now.
That's
so
right.
I've got to, mention these guys too. So budoutecigs.com. Again, I went down there. I go down at least once a week to get my refill on my little flavorings, and they've got some new stuff out. One of them, I don't think I said it last week, Limbless Wonder is my new favorite
Wonder.
flavor. Yeah.
Isn't that dedicated to
to
their
James.
friends? Yeah.
That's right. And he's limbless. So he's got no arms, no legs, and he does very well getting around. In fact, Matt, the owner of the Bud Out e-cigs, is trying to raise some funds for him. Now, I don't know if you saw the news recently, but this gentleman on Kickstarter raised like 35, I don't know, it was a lot of money. I don't know, 100,000 or something, 35,000, 350,000, somewhere in that range. Okay, I can look it up. For potato salad. Now, Matt has raised $1,000 for a guy to get a little bit better apartment than what he's in with no arms and no legs. There's something wrong with our society. So,
Wow.
yeah. So, no, this is
potato salad.
This is why we love having Bud Out support us, is because they support things like that. So, Limbless Wonder, man, it's a new flavor out and I love it. So go to Bud Out e-cigs. If you're in Tempe, go down and visit Matt. He's the owner. 3 locations. You can find him on our website. We've got My Lavender Life is sponsoring us as well for essential oils. We're going to have a show about that. So we're going to do that. And then Hostile Hair. I can't forget Hostile Hair.
You did last week, jerk.
Yeah. So insert commercial here.
What will you do when your stored supplies run out? Are you prepared? Hostile Hair provides equipment and education you need to control your own infinite food supply. We have live food storage systems, rabbits, quail, and other urban livestock for any situation and strategy. Don't be limited by what's on the shelves. Get started with an infinite food source today. Get prepped, stay fed with Hostile Hair. Call 480-331-3761 or visit hostilehair.com.
Okay. There you go. Hostile Hair.
Oh my god.
All the information. And then EcoPod Gardens. That's me.
Oh yeah, huh? That guy.
The aquaponics. The actual stuff that grows food.
Oh.
Yeah. That's what we grow all the food in. And the rabbits are just ancillary.
Ancillary. I'm offended. I don't know what it means.
So thank you to all of our sponsors, including me and Nick.
Thank me self.
Nice. As always, www.wegrowours.com, facebook.com/wegrowers, twitter.com/wegrowers, and on YouTube, We Grow Ours something or another. Just go to YouTube and type us in.
There you go. We have a YouTube channel?
Episode 1 and 2 are up because I'm lazy and I haven't gotten the rest up.
Oh, well, we won't hold that against you.
And in fact, if you go to the YouTube channel, I'll go ahead and post a little video of the Mombies.
Oh, there you go.
I took a little 5-second, video of them talking.
Did I end
in
up
the
on that one
situation
too?
room? No, I just took a picture of you.
Good, because that's like what broke it. It's to prove that every rose bush has a few thorns.
And just like I do the editing here, I also hold the camera, so I'm never in front of it. I'm always behind it.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for blessing us with that.
Till next week.
Adios.
No, wait a minute. That was an insult. I just got it. That took a minute.